Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Glow Up Guide podcast. So today's episode is all about choosing happiness and happiness as a whole. I have done an episode on happiness, but that was probably a year ago, and I have plenty more to say on happiness. It is such a broad but important thing to talk about, and this podcast is about talking to you guys about living your best life and as your best self, and happiness is really a big part of that goal. And honestly, just everyone wants to be happier. Happiness is kind of part of the reasons to live. We want to be happy. Otherwise life sucks. I don't really know if I'm making any sense, but moving on. So we're talking about happiness again today, but before moving on, let's do one thing we're grateful for and one thing we're happy about, plus our book of the week. Okay, so one thing I'm grateful for is probably this is kind of deep in a way, but all the memories I've made over the past few years, maybe since moving here. I'm just since before moving, all the positive memories I have, I'm really grateful for all of that. Because I don't really know how to explain it, but the past few months, really, I've been feeling really nostalgic because every single time it's this is gonna be my last in middle school, and I'm going to high school in the fall, and I'm kind of freaking out. And I was talking to one of my teachers about this last week actually, and she was like, she's like, so are you excited for high school? Because one of my teachers, it's from last year, and she was like, yeah, so how's it going? And I was like, good. And she's like, are you excited for high school? And I was like, no, not at all. And she's like, oh, of course you aren't. No one wants to go to high school. But once you get to high school, you're going to be like, no, I don't want to leave high school or go to college. And she was like, you're going to college. I'm like, oh my gosh, my parents, not going to college is literally not an option for me. And she's like, oh, well, it's good to have that planned out then. And then she was like, you're going to be like, I don't want to leave high school. I don't want to go to college. And I was like, yeah, I know, but still. And she started laughing at me. So it was a great interaction, but I don't know. I've just been feeling really nostalgic because all anyone's talking about is high school. What are you gonna do in high school and beyond high school? And that's all our counselors are talking to us about. We recently about a month ago actually, we had to plan out all our classes from next year through high school, pretty much all through high school. So it's been kind of freaking me out. Yeah, I just don't want to go to high school, but I'm really grateful for all of the amazing memories I have had over the past few years. Really any positive memories I can think of, I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for having that. And then one thing I'm happy about, let's see here. The weather is partly the weather, but it's because of my runs. Okay, so something I'm really excited and happy about is I'm running another 5K in the spring. I was thinking of doing a 10K, but I feel like a 10K is too much of a jump. And honestly, I just began to think about it because the past few weeks, all my brain has been focused on is not failing out of school, because I have 3 A minuses right now and those cannot drop. So all I've been hyper focused on is school, making sure I actually have something to freaking publish for this podcast every week, and then my younger brother's birthday, and then that's literally just sucking up all my time. So I have not even had I barely had time to breathe. Okay, that's how busy my life is getting these days. But I just started thinking, I was like, oh crap, what about the 5K I said I was gonna run? So I started the training plan for it yesterday. And it's going well so far. Yesterday thing was a recovery run. Today's was a speed run. It's going well actually. I don't really like speed runs, but that's just because I found out I was running them way too hard, significantly harder than I needed to, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So yeah, I figured that out, and I figured some more stuff out, and I ran it as I'm supposed to today, the right paces, and it went a lot better. But speedruns are still really hard. I can't go through a speedrun without stopping. So that's that, but I'm really happy that I decided to start my 5K training plan and stuff, because I don't know, running with a goal just feels so good. I remember I did this get started plan that was in the app, and for those of you who have no idea what I'm referring to, I use the app Nike Run Club. It's a great app for tracking all your runs. They have training plans and stuff, and there's challenges you can join for running. So it's a really great app, and it's 100% free. There's not even a paid version of it, and there's no ads and whatnot. It's just a really great app if y'all are interested in running, or if you are a runner or something like that. Nike Run Club is great. But I remember, and it was when I accomplished the plan, I felt so good. And now running just has so much more purpose now that I'm like training for a 5K. So that's fun. And then our book of the week is, let's see, we're still in the Inheritance Games series. I'm on the 5th book, question mark. It's a part of it. It's not very similar to the other books though. It's the grandest game, and it's about, let's see here. Let me read. I'm gonna read the inner cover summary here. Welcome to the grandest game, a dazzling, life-changing competition run by billionaire Avery Grams and the four infamous, I don't know how to say that, Hawthorne brothers. Designed to offer a chance at fame and riches, this year's game is limited to 7 lucky players. Lyra is haunted by the death of her father and the mysteries he left behind. She tells herself that she's playing the grandest game for the multi-million-dollar prize money, not for the answers to about the Hawthorne family's involvement in her father's death, and not to confront the infuriating, enigmatic. I hope that's how you say that. Grayson Hawthorne, who spurned her once before. Facing off against Lyra are Gigi, Grayson's half-sister and a human ray of sunshine who is determined to prove she is capable more than anyone has ever given her credit for. And Rohan, I don't know how to say the guy's name, who has very few morals, a dangerous and eclectic skill set, and no future unless he wins the game. Swept away to a private island, Reef. That's Rife, yeah. With luxury and puzzles to be solved, Lyra, Gigi, and Rohan must do whatever it takes to best one another, a cast of formidable rivals, and a game that only the sharpest minds can conquer. As sparks fly and the brain-bending challenges push the players to their limits, it becomes clear that everyone has secrets in the past won't stay buried forever. Who has what it takes to win? So far, it's a really good book. I'm actually like 2/3 of the way done with it. But yeah, definitely recommend the whole series. Read the series in order; it'll make so much more sense. This is the second to last book in the series. There's another one coming out, I think, in like this summer. I don't really know. But yeah, it might be this summer. That's a different book that I have in my brain. But yeah, okay. So, moving on to the actual episode with happiness. My first thought on happiness is that true happiness, it can really only come from inside. There are like super successful millionaires, billionaires, multi-billionaires, whatever. They might be like one of the best CEOs of all time, or like professional athletes, whatever. They seem like they're living a great life and like super successful, yada yada. But they still might not be happy despite all their success and money and fame and those things. A lot of people think like more money, more success, more fame, like those are the things that'll make them happier, but really they are not. Those are external factors. And despite all that, we can't truly be happy unless we make the choice from inside ourselves to be happy about those things. The difference between, like, what I'm trying to say is money and success and fame, like external factors, those alone aren't going to make you happy. You can choose to be happy about them. Yes, that is why people think that it makes them happy. If they have to, but the thing is, they have to choose to be happy about that. Like, it has to matter to them, and they have to make the choice. Like, yes, I'm going to be happy about this. I'm going to let this bring me joy. And that's how successful people, and that's how really anyone can be happy. They choose to let themselves be happy. They choose happiness in situations where the choice is presented between, I don't know, something that's obviously not going to bring them happiness and something that will bring them happiness. You have to make the choice to choose happiness. Like, that will bring you true and pure happiness. I was reading this book for my English project a while ago. Well, not that long ago, maybe a month ago. Anyway, not usually the kind of book I would read or recommend, but it still was a really good book. Wild Bird by Vanessa Van. I can't even say the last name of it, the author, but yeah, Vanessa Van something. Okay, moving on. Yeah, odd name, and I hope I'm saying it right. Gwendolyn. No, not Vanessa. Okay, I kept thinking it was Vanessa. Gwendolyn Van Drainen. I don't know how to say it. It's Draanen. Anyway, just search it up. It's a really good book, actually. Odd name, and I really hope I'm saying it right. I do not think I am, but not the point. Okay, so it's about Ren, and she's like a troubled 14-year-old who gets sent to a wilderness therapy camp because she's kind of out of control. And at camp, towards like the end of the book, she realizes that even though she's sweaty and her hair is literally matted to her head, she's dirty, hasn't showered in forever, and she's sleeping in literal dirt with no technology or anything. She's actually happy for the first time in a long time. It's the kind of feeling she went looking for whenever she resorted to weed and whiskey and stealing and crime. All of the absolute crap that happened to her and all of the absolute crap she got herself into. Happiness, but happiness from the inside, knowing that despite everything, she can do stuff. Like, okay, she said, like, she was like, I know that I can build a griddle out of nothing but sticks and trash. I can make shelter. I can cook a potato in the ground. I can make pancakes. She's like, I can do stuff. And I made the choices that got me here almost. And I don't know, it's like just despite everything that has happened to her, she can do stuff. She has that in her mind and she's like actually happy. That really stuck with me. And like since I read that, it's just been stuck with me. And that's something I've actually been thinking about a lot. Sometimes it's the simplest things that really stand out to you. And that one bit is actually what made me want to do this whole episode on happiness. I was like, I should really talk about this on my podcast. But happiness only really matters when it comes from the inside. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's like that choice. You have to choose to be happy. You could, like I said, you could be the most successful person or the most beautiful person or the richest person on the planet, and none of it would matter. None of it would make you happy if it doesn't matter to you and if you don't make the choice to be happy about it. I mean, sure, those kinds of external things can make you happy, but only if you decide from within yourself to be happy about it, to let it bring you joy. Just to let it happen, to let it make you happy. Yeah. That external factor in itself is not what's bringing you happiness. However, you are bringing yourself that happiness. Long story short, none of it matters if you don't actually make the conscious choice to be happy, and your thoughts and choices, those are a lot more powerful than you actually think they are. That's really it. Like happiness and your journey to happiness, that like it can only begin with that choice to be happy for everything you can. Let the small things like flowers and big things like a promotion at work, all of it, let it bring you joy and happiness, and let yourself feel the happiness. Let yourself care. You don't have to do things to deserve happiness. You don't have to be like really rich, really successful, like really pretty or something to deserve happiness, quote unquote. Deserve. That's stupid. Why do we have to do something to deserve happiness? We should be able to feel happy, be happy now without doing anything. Smile right now for no reason. Do it. There are studies that prove smiling, even when you're like really sad, it can give you a hit of dopamine, that feel good chemical. So smile, be happy. This is where it all starts. Say it out loud with me. Starting now, I will choose to make the choices that put me in the path of joy and happiness. I will always choose happiness when I can, and I will try to live my life for happiness. I don't need to do anything to deserve happiness. It should be just there within me, like it should. Repeating myself at the end there, but not the point. Just say it out loud. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, the next thing is like being around positive people who vibrate high. We are made up of the 5 people we spend the most time around. Maybe in some more ways than who we are. I met like these 2 best friends. They have known each other their whole lives. They look absolutely nothing alike, but their mannerisms are so similar. And like I don't know, they just have that like kind of vibe about them. And one of the camp counselors asked if they were like really siblings. People have asked me if me and some of my close friends were siblings. Like I don't know, we pick up on other people's mannerisms and stuff in more ways than one. We want to make sure that we spend time around people who are actually going to bring us up and lift us up, and who we actually want to be around instead of people who are just going to bring our happiness down in the dumps with theirs. We don't want that kind of energy in our lives. No way. It may be March, but create another New Year's resolution to avoid these kinds of negative energy people. Do that now. Keep it in your mind. We are avoiding as much negative energy as possible. But if you surround yourself with positive people who bring positive energy into their own lives and into other people's lives, that like they have that sort of mentality, that will rub off on you as well. Speaking with the same logic, if you surround yourself with really negative people who just attract negative energy into their life and are very pessimistic, and they have like that sort of mentality, those are the kinds of things that you will eventually adopt. Vibrate high. Choose to vibrate high. Piggyback off of others' happiness and high spiritedness almost. And that kind of energy is going to rub onto you. So you want to make sure that like you're surrounding yourself with good and happy and positive energy, and like that's what rubs off onto you. Being around positive and high vibrational people can really lift you up. you might have a certain person or people in your life who you can just talk to for even 5 minutes, and your spirits are just instantly uplifted no matter how crappy the mood you're in. I know that those people are like the best people to be around, the ones that'll just like bring you up. I don't know, they just have like their own ways of doing that. Just choose like to be around these kinds of people more. Like spend more of your time around people like them, or make more friends with people who are like that, just instantly bring you up, and like they light up a room almost. They can bring your spirits up almost instantly, and they just give off like a good energy, and you actually want to be around them. The people we surround ourselves with is like that is just so important, and like socializing more often or just doing things more often, that is something I talked about in last week's episode. Like loving your life, socializing more, and spending more time with friends. That can make your life better, and that can make you love your life more. But friendships and like being around your friends, that's a really powerful thing. Relationships are a big part of our lives and who we are and who we become. Other people have a heavy influence on us, especially those close to us. Even like the most introverted people ever have at least one friend. Maybe you just don't like spending time with your friends. With everything you do, you get better if you do it more. So if you go out and socialize more, I mean, you'll get a lot more comfortable with it. I might not understand social anxiety or introvertedness that like that much, or even at all, being like the most extroverted and peoply person ever myself, but you just have to try. You can't beat yourself up and give up until you've actually tried. Like you can't just not try and be like, "Oh, I give up." Because then you haven't even, because that's not really giving up, you just didn't try at all. um like yeah, that's my point. Okay, so I'm getting really off track, but okay, family relationships are actually like really important. Like when was the last time you did something with a family member, even talk to them? Extended family is also really important. Literally all of my extended family is in India, and I don't call them or even talk to them as much as I really should. I would like to talk to them more, but like so many people, they just cut their family off or don't really talk to them. And I am so grateful to have good family relationships, even if they get on my nerves a ton. And maybe not talking to them is necessary for your happiness. Do that. Just surround yourself with positivity. Make the choices that will make you happy, and that will make you a more positive person in turn to attracting positivity into your life, and that all makes you happier. Kind of piggybacking off my last point is surrounding yourself with positivity, but not in terms of people. I mean things. Surround yourself with happiness. Things like following positive people on Instagram and watching fun TV shows instead of depressing ones. Material things that bring you joy, even. I know I said that material success and things can't make us happy unless we let them, but that's the most important thing. We have those material things we choose to let ourselves be happy about. Maybe you love like flowers, I don't know. If you love flowers, keep some flowers around wherever you can. Hang up a painting of some flowers. Buy yourself flower bouquets when you can. Start a flower garden. Yeah, just like if flowers bring you joy and you surround yourself with flowers, that means you're like surrounding yourself with joy. And flowers are pretty anyway. When you surround yourself with joy and happiness, that makes you happy from the inside. This is sort of something that sounds really obvious, but there are probably more material things around you that don't bring you joy and that don't actually make you very happy. Oh, this reminds me of Marie Kondo's like spark joy method of decluttering. Basically, you just have to go through all your items by 5 categories in order. Those categories are clothes, books, papers, kimono, which is just like everything between like the kitchen and appliances, and then finally the sentimental items like photos. Her emphasis is on cleaning and decluttering by category instead of location, like so many people do when they try to declutter, going by location. The other unique thing about this method is that she wants you to hold each item in your hands and really think about it. Think about whether it is something that has brought you joy and happiness. Hence the name the Spark Joy method. But this is a great example of finding joy in your life, actually. Filter and cut the unhappy material things, or the material things that just don't make you happy. Maybe it brought you joy at one point in your life, but now it doesn't. And we have to focus on the now. Music. Music is a big part of our lives these days. Try to listen to happy music as much as you can. There's so many songs about depressing things like death and heartbreak. Personally, I don't get it. A lot of people use music as a way to make themselves feel better and happier. So listening to a lot of sad stuff, it doesn't really make sense. But listening to uplifting music, like make different playlists for different occasions. Sometimes you might just need the sad sob story songs. Scary shows. I personally don't like horror movies or shows, like scary shows, because they give me the ick. It's not like they're scary or anything. They're just like weird. Like I don't know. They're just weird. I would much rather just like laugh at a bunch of brain rot comedy shows meant for kids, but like oh well. I love comedy shows, comedy stuff. any day over a horror movie. That is me. Reading like happy-ish books. I read a lot of mystery books, and those aren't always happy, but I love reading mystery because I just find it really interesting. And even if like the thing happening itself is sad, like murder or something, it would not be considered a high vibrational thing like a murder mystery. Reading those mysteries is something I like to do, and it makes me happy. And I don't really know if that makes sense. I really can't put it any other way though, so that's that. But like the media you surround yourself with, like books and music and TV shows, make sure those things like you keep surrounding yourself with them. Okay, you want to make sure they bring you joy and uplift you instead of like dragging you down even more in the dumps. Laugh every single day. Laughter is known to give you a boost of dopamine and serotonin, which are feel-good chemicals. That makes you feel happier. Laughing a ton is also linked to like less chances of depression and anxiety. It can improve your immune function. It can make you less prone to diseases. That's actually pretty cool in my opinion. Laugh every day. Watch brain rot comedy like me, or maybe hang out with funny people. Me and my friends are constantly doing dumb things, or dumb shit happens to me and like laughing all the time anyways. Find some people like that in your life. Read funny books. Rom-com books are great, or shows, like really anything funny that you know will make you laugh. Think of a random inside joke and like that will have you laughing in no time. Watch funny cat videos or dog videos instead of scrolling through reels on Instagram or YouTube shorts. That kind of social media is like toxic anyway. Just laugh as much as you can every single day and you will see the difference. You will feel the difference. Yeah. Next thing I wanted to talk about is like to quit delaying your happiness. That doesn't help you with anything. So many people are like, oh, once I do this or get that, then I can be happy. Or something like, once I get this or do that, or like this happens to me, I'll be worthy of happiness. But the reality is, we don't have to wait for happiness. We don't have to be worthy of happiness. We have to choose happiness. That power is within us, not that power is not in the external things, the external factors that are in our lives. We don't have to like wait for happiness. We don't have to deserve it or whatever. So happiness is something we should find, should be able to find. So we all need to stop saying that we have to do something or something has to happen or we have to get something in order to be happy. Because like once we say like once we get that promotion, let's say, we're always like, well now I have like this promotion, so now I need I don't know, even more money to be happy. It's so stupid. We don't need perfect skin or perfect nails or hair or that promotion to be happy. Would they make our lives better? Sure, maybe they would, but our happiness doesn't depend on having or getting those things. No, your happiness should depend on like us and whether we choose to make the choice to choose happiness. Choose to be happy now for literally anything. Okay, think of one thing that makes you happy right now. Maybe you found a dollar bill in the street. You don't need a promotion with a ton of more money to be happy. That dollar bill on the street might just make you happy because it's an unexpected surprise. Make things matter. Make everything matter. Choose to be happy right now for literally anything. If you want to celebrate getting a donut, do it. I did that earlier this week. I love donuts. They make me happy. You can be happy for the donut if it makes you happy. Don't say it's dumb or pointless to celebrate the small things and be happy now for those small things. Because if you choose to celebrate the small things and the big things, not just the big things, then you have more celebration in your life. And more celebration is more happiness. And that is what we want. The whole thing I'm talking about today is more happiness and like finding happiness, all that. We want more happiness, not less of it. So stop saying, once I have that skin, I'll be happy. Or once I get that promotion, I'll be happy. Or once I have that hair, I'll be happy. Once I have those friends, I'll be happy. You get the gist of it. These things would probably make our lives better, yes, but our happiness doesn't depend on having or getting these things. I feel like I'm talking in circles, but oh well. Maybe I need to do that to get my point across. Next thing, piggybacking off of others' happiness. Okay, so moving on to this like piggybacking off of others' happiness. People exist in our lives that we care about, right? Our friends, our family, maybe like coworkers. I don't know, just people, children. I don't know. We can use their happiness to be happy ourselves. It seems dumb and seems like it makes no sense, but let me explain. If someone you know gets a promotion or something like that, maybe you wanted the promotion, but you didn't get that option, get that thing. You have two options. First option, to be depressed and whiny and jealous that you didn't get that thing. Or the second and significantly better option is to be so genuinely happy for them that they got this thing and that you can celebrate with them and not be jealous. I might go off on a tangent here, but everything has vibrations or like a vibrational state of being. I learned this in the book Good Vibes, Good Life by Bex King, and it's a really great book, by the way. So you should go and read it. He talks a ton about how everything has vibrations. Objects, people, feelings, like everything. There are high vibrational things and low vibrational things. When it comes to emotions like happiness and gratitude and joy are some of the highest vibrational states of being. On the other hand, emotions like jealousy and fear and sadness are some of the lowest vibrational states. Us being jealous of other people isn't going to help us be happier. That's literally the point of my seemingly endless loop of yapping, to convince you guys and inspire you guys and motivate you guys to do things and think things that will bring you more happiness and joy into your life, because we all want to be happier. I think that's why you clicked play on this episode. Moving on. Us being jealous and closed-minded and like sad about other people getting what we wanted isn't going to help us get that thing. So why not celebrate for them? Take it as a sign that good things are coming your way too. Just because someone got the promotion doesn't mean you can't or that you won't. Something probably even better is headed your way. Just trust in life's plan and the rest will come. It may feel hard to be open-minded, and most of the time it can be very difficult to be open-minded, yes, but being a brick wall is not going to help you. Realize that. If you want something bad enough and really work for it, it will come your way. Maybe not right this second, but eventually. Anywho, if one of your friends got something you wanted, you should be happy for them and like celebrate with them. Be so genuinely happy for them that it makes you happy. This is a really, really stupid example, but I took chorus in 6th grade and I auditioned for a solo, and my audition absolutely sucked. I tanked badly. And one of my friends, actually one of my really close friends at the time, called solo. And instead of being jealous and sad about it, I was actually really happy for her, and like I celebrated that with her. I never thought about it until now, but really, me being sad for myself wouldn't have gotten me a solo, would it? So like, why do that? Whenever someone else, normally my friends, gets something good, regardless of what it is, whether it was something I wanted or not, I'll be happy for them regardless, because that's just what friends are supposed to do. If it like being depressed, like, no, if the person who got something you wanted, if it isn't a friend, being depressed won't help you anyway. Besides, no clue where I heard this, but happiness fuels success, not the other way around. So be happy in order to be successful, and that will help you achieve your goals and get what you want. Dial back on social media and screen time. Something completely unrelated to your personality or mindset or whatever the rest of this episode has been about, but like really important nonetheless. Screens and social media are such a big part of our lives these days, and we don't even realize it. Everything is on screens or some form of technology, and honestly, it sucks. For school, half of what we do is on screens. Gosh, that's almost everything we need our Chromebooks for. Like, if you have a job instead of sitting around on a laptop or phone, there, yeah, there's like tons of sitting around on a laptop or phone with a job. If you want to socialize with someone, sure, just go text them or call them. Use a phone. Screens are great and all, but they're taking over. I know I'm not the only person that thinks this. But screens and social media can sometimes suck. Actually, screw that. They suck most of the time. But we can fix that pretty easily. I have a whole episode on cutting down on screen time and why it sucks, but I'll explain that in brief today in brief. There's also another episode on building a dopamine menu, and you should definitely go listen to that too. Both of those are great episodes, but when we spend a ton of time, like 2 hours, just doom scrolling, we think it's going to make us feel better, but it's only going to make us feel worse. And it doesn't help that 2 hours have been wasted scrolling through pointless crap instead of doing stuff that actually needs to be done. Everyone's far too busy these days. I have too many things to do to spend hours doom scrolling. Would you rather make yourself feel like crap or get a whole bunch of things done and feel really good about yourself for taking a whole bunch of things off your to-do list? The amount of things I could get done in 2 hours is crazy. Homework, cleaning, hanging out with people, baking, all my Sunday reset tasks, and then some. Like, all that I could do in 2 hours. So many more things too. I could do, like, a whole bunch more cleaning, deep cleaning, a good amount of space. Workout, plus shower. My hair. Honestly, my hair takes forever. So many more things too. Yeah, there's just endless things that anyone could be doing to actually make yourself happier, some joy increasing activities. Another reason to avoid screens is that a good chunk of my listeners are under 25 years old. The human brain isn't done developing until age 25. So that excessive amount of time people spend on screens, mainly younger people, like close to my age, is destroying your brain long term and short term. And that can lead to like worsened memory, a screwed up reward system in your brain, which I'll explain in a minute, and even eye damage. The reward system bit mainly has to do with like social media. When we go on social media, our brain gets like a hit of dopamine, the feel good hormone, and then our brain starts to associate going on social media with getting more dopamine. And that is the cycle of addiction. Like, over more time, the dopamine stops coming and we feel worse instead of better when we go on social media, because the whole reason we are going on social media is because of an addiction loop and not because we get dopamine, which makes it suck. Avoid social media in the first place, or just use Pinterest. Pinterest is the least problematic social media platform out there. Just stay on there. I love Pinterest. It doesn't really cause problems. There are so many more things that we could be doing to make ourselves feel happier instead of being on screens and social media. Don't keep your happiness in a box or try to make it conform to a certain box. There are hopefully lots of things out there that make you happy and bring you joy in life. And if there aren't, then find some things that do bring you joy in life. Speaking of which, I don't think I mentioned this, but if I did, apologies. Have a happy list. Exactly as it sounds, make a list in your notes app or maybe like a physical list of tons of things that make you happy. Every single thing you can think of, and add things whenever you think of more things that make you happy. Keep adding to that list whenever you feel sad or like the world hates you or that life sucks. Just like look at that list and remind yourself of all the good things in your life that make you happy and bring you joy. That will definitely lift you up out of your funk at least a little bit, or I hope it does. The list may be hard to start, but as you keep going, it'll get easier and you will keep on coming up with things that to add to that list. Great way to remind yourself that yes, there are good things in life, even whenever you can't seem to think of them. Going back to my original point, don't make your happiness fit one specific definition, put it in a box. Like I said earlier, there are many definitions of happiness. We all have our own things that make us happy. Something that makes me happy is reading books. I have friends who despise reading with a burning passion. Reading wouldn't make them very happy. I love working out and moving my body, and tons of people despise it and see exercise as their mortal enemy for tons of reasons. And that's okay. We shouldn't have to make our definitions of happiness conform to someone else's. Google Dictionary literally defines happiness as a state of being happy. A very broad term in many ways to interpret it. Happiness is something that is different for every single person, and that is a good thing. Something I absolutely despise with a burning passion is Pilates and like yoga or really any slow form of exercise. Tons and tons of people love Pilates and yoga. They're like, oh yeah, I've gotten the best results ever. It's so much fun, yippee yada yada. It's the only workout they do. If they make them happy, good for them. I hate it and I'm fine with it. We don't all have to like the same things. That would be boring. Having your own things that you like is what makes you like yourself. Um, if everyone loves going to parties and that's what makes them happy and it doesn't make you happy, you can't just do it because it's like, oh, it's what everyone does and it'll probably make me happy. It does not. And like if everyone else does it, it should make me happy too. That's dumb. Logic is not logicking. If you don't like something and it doesn't make you happy, or if your own definition of happiness is something totally different from someone else's, that is perfectly okay. I thrive and I'm happy when I'm busy. Most people hate being busy and enjoy downtime and leisure time and a clear calendar, and that's what makes them happy. Well, guess what? Not me, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Learn to be okay with the fact that different things make us happy. Don't beat yourself up for not having the same definitions of happiness as other people. Google can't even define happiness a specific way, so take comfort in that. We all have our own things that make us happy, and that's okay and amazing, even. Having hobbies. I feel like hobbies are a big part of who we are, and namely this year of out of my podcast, I feel like I've been talking about hobbies a lot. I think hobbies are amazing, and also, like, yeah, they're just amazing. But most of the time, or actually all the time, and I hope all of the time, our hobbies are things that we do that make us happy or bring us joy in some way or the other. Hobbies are amazing for so many flipping reasons, and everyone should have at least one hobby that is like their thing, something that people know you for. My thing is my podcast, and that is my thing that I have and absolutely love. Um, I'm so grateful for this podcast, and like I would not trade it for anything. There are so many hobbies out there though: cooking, painting, hiking, photography, collections of any form, upcycling stuff, scrapbooking. I could probably name 100 more, but yeah. All of those are great hobbies. I actually did an episode maybe a month ago or so on a whole bunch of hobbies you can try out. So you can go and listen to that for some inspiration for hobbies to start. Try spending your free time doing hobbies and dedicating time to that instead of doom scrolling. Speaking of doom scrolling, this set off another thought chain. Learning a language. Okay, so people are always on their phones at like when they're waiting at restaurants or maybe on the metro or like in an Uber. I don't know. Waiting in line at the grocery store, they're probably on social media. What if you could be putting those minutes towards learning a language? That would honestly add up to a lot of minutes. There is like positive screen time and negative screen time. Most negative screen time, like social media, sucks. But learning a language, I mean, if you have to go on screens to do that, good. Positive screen time. Instead of wasting your brain cells on Instagram, you could be learning Spanish or French or German or Korean or like, I don't know, freaking Yiddish. Or a language you have always wanted to learn. Duolingo is actually amazing. 20 or so minutes most days took me to a decent conversational level in about 6 months. I love Duolingo. You can do one lesson in 2 to 3 minutes. You should definitely download Duolingo right now. Free version is still amazing. Use those spare minutes, like while you're waiting in an Uber or waiting in line at a grocery store. Maybe you just have some time to kill. Use it to learn a language. instead of like literally burning off your brain cells. So yeah, do that instead. It's a great hobby, learning a language. Yeah, so okay, that got really off track, but having hobbies, I have talked about this enough, but I realized I don't have enough hobbies anymore, so I started a hobby experiment this year, and I'm trying out 10 new hobbies this year and picking 3 to stick with to fill up my free time, because I'm a girl who doesn't like have nothing to do. That is not me. I thrive being busy, like I said. There are so many good hobbies you could be doing though. There are hobbies that are totally free, and as well, get a library card and start a great new hobby that's absolutely free, reading. Get a Sudoku book from the Dollar Tree and start a hobby out of Sudoku. Organizing counts as a hobby. Become an organizing pro. Thrifting is also super budget friendly and fun. Not all hobbies have to be expensive, and most aren't. Find your thing and stick with it. Having hobbies will greatly improve your level of happiness. Okay, so that was all I had to say on happiness and like choosing happiness, all that stuff. I hope this helps you in some way, and at least one thing I said really sticks with you. Remember to choose happiness always. Okay, so to end our episode today, I have a quote from Audrey Hepburn. It goes, "The most important thing is to enjoy your life. To be happy, it's all that matters." Bye, guys. Rate, review, follow, and share this podcast. Please, please, please go follow me on Instagram. Drink some water, and I love you all.